What's happening, guys? This is Sam from Walkgate Studios. Hope you're well. Today I'm just doing a little video on some samples that were sent through to me from Huge Minis. By now you'll actually sort of know that they have got a couple of new releases out that are coming, and one of them being some airbrush paints that they've got specifically for airbrushes. And I thought, well, it's a great opportunity for me to show you how they kind of go on to a nice 3D printed model that I've got from one of the Kickstarters that I did a while back. So I'm going to kind of put some of this on, shoot it through the airbrush, kind of show you how it goes, and kind of see what sort of finishes we can do with it, really. I'm just going to get the base colors on. These are the colors that they sent me over, which was Ebony, Buckeye Brown, Terracotta, Red Mesa, Nebula Orange, and Sun Orange. So this Nurgle beast type thing is going to be some weird apparition of some very earthy colors with a little bit of the reds and stuff like that we're going to do on some of the tentacles to make him look a little bit crazy. So yeah, without further ado, just to kind of give you an idea of what I'm using a Harder and Steenbeck Evolution AL airbrush plus. This is the lightweight one. Lovely airbrush, really good. And yeah, apparently, so I'm gonna go crazy with this and get some colors down. I'm actually going to go some kind of mix it up a little bit, shoot some different kind of colors through it and see how they go on, and then yeah, see what sort of finishes we can get with this. So without further ado, as always, I'm just going to shoot a little bit of thinner through my airbrush just to give it a little bit of a lube up. Beautiful. And then we're going to start actually with some of the darker sort of stuff. So I'm going to have a go with the Ebony, and then we're going to have some Buckeye Brown on it as well. Give these guys a good shake. They come with agitators in, so that's really good. And I'm just going to squirt some of it into the airbrush. I'm not going to do a lot of each because, as I said, I'm just going to try out and get a lot of these colors on there. I'm just also going to take these colors and smush them up here to give me some time to work with. So yeah, the kind of stuff that they've said on here should be that this shoots through quite nicely. There we go. And we're going to kind of see straight out the pot whether I can kind of pre-shade with it and just get some of these colors on here in some of the darker recesses to give this a little bit of a, and we're going to do some of the mouth. Just going to be going around and doing a lot of the shady work, giving stuff a bit of a shade on here. Some of these pustules I'm going to go around, give them a little bit of shade, so there's some colours there. So as you can see, it's going on quite nicely. The Ebony is kind of like a nice browny, earthy kind of colour. So I'm kind of enjoying that already. It's it'll be nice to kind of put on and work up from. But yeah, this is kind of nice. I'm enjoying it. It goes through nice, and I didn't water this down at all. So this is going through the airbrush really smooth at the moment, which is great. So I'm kind of okay. So that's the Ebony. I kind of like that. I'm going to probably give it a little bit of a second coat to bring out that opacity, just in some areas. It's a little bit. It's made for the airbrush, so it's going to be a little bit thin, and as normal you need to probably put on a few colors a few coats to build it up. But yeah, it's pretty decent. I'm kind of enjoying the depth of this and what we're going to be able to get out of it. So that's the ebony there. I'm just going to wash this out now. We've kind of went through a lot of that, so I'm next gonna go with the Buckeye Brown. I'm just gonna get most of this off and give it a little bit of a washout. Make sure we get rid of most of that color, so we've got a fresh color on the in the airbrush ready to go. Get rid of that. Beautiful. Sweet. Yeah, so first in you know, sort of thoughts on this. It flows really nice without the need of thinner, which is always good. I always put a little bit of thinner in with mine anyway. So the next color I'm going to do is Buckeye Brown. We're going to see how this goes through and get a bit more warmth on this color, because at the moment that ebony is quite dark, so we're going to put a bit of warmth in with a little bit of this Buckeye Brown and see how this goes on. So there you go. So a little bit more warmth in this, and we're gonna maybe do some of the tusks and the teeth and those sorts of things with this. Give this a good coat. I will be going over this with a paintbrush to finish this off, but just looking at the layers and this layering on, it's pretty good. It's going on pretty nice, which is always good. It's like a nice chocolate brown, this Buckeye Brown. I'm kind of liking that. I think that's all I'm going to use this for, to be fair. It looks pretty rocking. So we're going to kind of keep it at that, the kind of earthy mixtures. So I'm going to wash this out, get rid of this, and then wash this out. And then the next one I'm going to do, I'm probably going to do some highlights with the terracotta color, and then I'm going to kind of go crazy with some other colors and see what we can kind of come up with to make this thing really pop. So the earthy colors I'm going to kind of do first. Excellent. Okay, so that's the ebony and the Buckeye that I put on there. Now we're going to put a little bit, starting to get a little bit more lighter. So we're going to do a little bit of the terracotta color, and we're going to use this and just spray this to give that area a little bit more texture. This one, again, I'm not going to do too much in there, but this is the terracotta color, and we're going to shoot this through. Okay, so we can see it's kind of like a nice bright orangey color. So I'm going to start, I think, just by sort of going around these pimples and seeing what we can do. To pick out some of these pimples. I'm probably going to change the color up these eventually, but I just want to see how it goes on. It's a nice bright color. Pigment density on this is pretty good. So you can kind of see, you start seeing some of these, how these pop in. We'll get that one there. I'm going to do his eyeballs a different color, but yeah, the pustules, they're kind of looking pretty good. They're very earthy colors, and I kind of like this terracotta. Got a nice bright sheen to it, and as far as it goes, really sort of like is a nice kind of highlight color coming out. So I'm going to leave it at that, and that's the terracotta. Now we're going to get into the fun, really bright colors. So we're going to do some red, and then I'm going to graduate up from the reds to the oranges and the yellows. So we're going to see how they go on, and we're going to get to play with some real bright stuff now. So vast majority of this I am going to do kind of the red color, just to kind of see how it plays on here and get a lot of the red areas done. And then once we get rid of this, cool. Just gonna fold this in so we've got some nice fresh stuff to play with. And I'm gonna wash this again because I want to get rid of that orange. Don't want it to taint the red, even though we're going to be working with the others in a bit. There we go, that's good enough for me. Okay, so I'm going to try the red now, which is red mesa. And again, I'm going to give this a quick shake up. Make sure this is good to go. And then we're going to just throw it straight in the airbrush. And see how this goes. So this is interesting. This is like not a real bright, vibrant red. This is kind of like an earthy red, which kind of really goes well with what we're trying to do. So I'm going to just shoot some of this through. There we go. Okay, so you can kind of see that it's a little bit more vibrant and bright. Get some deeper tones on this. It's kind of cool. It's very earthy. Really like it. This is a great color. It just goes well with the colors that were sent to me. It just fits in very well with it. So I'm going to get the bottom of these tentacles as well, because I want them graduating up nicely. It's got a real like burnt color to it. I love it. Very vibrant. And as I said, you can kind of see where I've gone over with a couple of coats, and it just gets a very dark, earthy red, which I love. Okay, so we're kind of working through these earthy colors, and it's looking pretty rocking. I'm really impressed so far with these paints and the way they go on and what you can kind of do with them. So I'm going to make sure I get as much as I can in there. Cool. So we've got really nice layers on there, and you can kind of see everything that I've put on there with all the different colors. So we're going to mix it up now. I think I'm pretty happy with that as a base coat on there, and now I'm going to get going with some real vibrant stuff, which is going to be the orange, nice bright orange, which is going to be nebula orange, which is super looking forward to that. Let's throw this in. Give this a mix, get that out there, get this a wash through, get rid of that nice dark earth. This is a nice like Martian kind of earth color. This is so really good for like desert stuff or like Martian at work. So kind of like that, really like that. So we're going to now do a bit with Nebula Orange, and I'm just going to graduate it up from those that Mesa Orange that we've got in there. I'm going to just chuck a little bit in there and squirt it through so we can, yeah, look at that nice bright orange. So we're going to just chuck this on. So I'm kind of leaving a little bit on the ends because that's where I want the yellow to pop, and rather than having to go back in again and whiten it up, I'm just gonna kind of do that. But you can kind of see the tentacles and how awesome they are looking. So really happy with that, and very, very bright as well, which you kind of want. I want people to know that there's tentacles coming at them. So yeah, really, really cool with that. I'm gonna get rid of this. Spray this out onto my pad, and again, before anybody mentions it, yes, I've got an air purifier going behind me, so we are all good. And I'm only doing this for a little bit without the mask on. So yeah, thanks for your concern if anybody mentions it again. I know a few people have mentioned it. Okay, last color I'm going to shoot through this is Sun Orange, but it's more like a bright yellow for me. So we're going to see how this, just on the tip, we're just going to put these on the tip of the tentacles, and then it's going to pretty much be my base coats on this model completely done. So I'm going to be happy with that. Okay, so we're going to throw this in, and this one is the Sun Orange. And you can see it's pretty much yellow. I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to get some of this on. A little bit of overspray, but I'm all right with that. There we go. I'm super happy with that, and I may well go over and just increase the opacity on the yellow a little bit more. But there we go. That is my really, really super simple, quick and easy method of putting some of the new Huge Minis airbrush colors on. Hope you like it. Ooh, I've got a little bit of my yellow on there. Hope you like it. As I said, they go on really, really well. I like the opacity on them. They come out nice and vibrant. The colors are amazing. They're so deep. So I am very, very happy with that. And yeah, thanks ever so much for watching. Hopefully that's helpful. Check out their new Kickstarter for all these airbrush colors. They are really, really super good. And yeah, big shout to Huge Minis. Thanks ever so much for sending them over to me. And thanks for watching my little video on airbrushing. Cheers.